Ever wonder why some people who don't like arguing can easily say what they want? But if you ask someone who always agrees, they might not be sure? It's like asking a friend who never disagrees what they like to do, and they might not have an answer. Well, it turns out that really agreeable people are so used to thinking about what others want that they forget what they want themselves. This might be okay sometimes, but it can cause problems, especially if you're trying to build a career. Even though men and women on average aren't very different in how agreeable they are, when you look at the extremes, things change. The most agreeable people are usually women, and the most disagreeable people are usually men. This matters because the extremes often make a big difference in society. For example, a lot more men end up in prison, and the main reason is that they tend to be low in agreeableness. Being too agreeable can lead to being taken advantage of, and that's not good for anyone. Now imagine if being agreeable is like playing a trading game where you have to bargain. If you're very agreeable, you might bargain harder for someone else than for yourself. On the other hand, if you're disagreeable, you might focus more on your own interests. Both approaches have their advantages, but it's essential to find a balance. If you're too agreeable, you might end up being exploited, and that's not fair. Sometimes in therapy, people learn how to be more assertive, which means standing up for themselves without being mean. But why is it that some people are naturally more agreeable or disagreeable? It might have something to do with how we grow up. When you're a kid, it's crucial to be likable by the age of 4. If you're too agreeable, you might let other kids and even adults take advantage of you. On the other hand, if you're too disagreeable, your peers might not want to play with you, and that can be lonely. So finding the right balance is like learning the rules of a game. You need to be kind and share, but you also need to stand up for yourself when needed. As we grow up, our temperament, or our natural way of being, continues to shape us. Understanding these patterns helps us make sense of our behavior as we go through different stages of life. But here's the thing, it's okay to be who you are, but it's also essential to learn from others who are different. If you're shy, try learning from someone who's good at talking to people. If you're always saying what you want, maybe learn to listen more. It's like having a toolbox with different tools for different situations. And what about choosing a friend or a partner? Well, it's like finding someone who is similar but not exactly the same. If you're too different, you might not understand each other, but if you're too similar, it could get a bit boring. So the key is to understand ourselves, embrace our strengths, work on our weaknesses, and learn from others who see the world differently. By doing this, we can create a more balanced and harmonious life for ourselves and those around us.